2 years after my divorce, my ex-wife began sabotaging my time with our son, fabricating reasons to cancel my visits. Then I discovered messages on my son's tablet where she was instructing him to say I didn't want him around. Now my 8-year-old son cries and resists seeing me, convinced I've abandoned him. Our custody agreement was straightforward. I get Tyler, who's 8, every other weekend and Wednesday evenings. Things used to be wonderful. We'd spend hours assembling Lego sets, order pizza, and visit the park. Tyler would sprint to my car at pickup, bubbling with excitement about our weekend plans, like what we'd build next. But 6 months ago, everything shifted. Kelly, my ex, started canceling visits with flimsy excuses. First, she claimed Tyler had a stomach virus, but her Instagram showed him bouncing around at a friend's birthday party that same day. Then it was a family crisis with her parents. But when I bumped into her dad at the hardware store days later, he said he hadn't seen Kelly or Tyler in weeks. Another time, she cited a critical school project due Monday, but when I checked with the school, the teacher confirmed no assignments were due. The cancellations piled up, but something worse started happening that chilled me to the core. Tyler began acting differently during the rare visits he made. He became withdrawn, barely speaking, avoiding my gaze. This was the kid who used to talk nonstop about school, his buddies, or the latest cartoon he loved. Now he'd sit on my couch, stiff, like he needed permission to breathe. He started saying odd things that didn't add up. "Mom says you don't really want me here." He asked why I kept canceling on him. I was stunned. I wasn't the one canceling. Kelly was. I'd arrive for pickups, and she'd open the door with Tyler hovering behind her, looking ashamed, saying he couldn't come because of some last-minute excuse she'd concocted. Tyler would peer out, torn between fear of upsetting me and fear of wanting to see me. Kelly would put on this fake, pitying tone. "Maybe next time, Tyler. Daddy's just too busy right now." I tried explaining myself, but she'd threaten to call the police if I pushed back. Last month, I only saw Tyler twice out of 8 scheduled visits. On those 2 visits, he spent most of his time glued to his phone or asking when he could go back to his mom's. When I suggested we build something together, he said, "Mom says I'm too old for childish toys." This from a kid who used to spend entire weekends crafting elaborate Lego cities with intricate stories for every character. Now he outright refuses to come, sobbing and clinging to Kelly when I show up. It's not normal kid tears. It's this panicked, desperate crying like I'm a stranger trying to take him away. I've tried telling him I never canceled, that I love our time together, that I want him with me. He just shakes his head and says, "But Mom said you told her you were too tired for me this weekend." Kelly stands there, hands on his shoulders, playing the concerned mom. "I'm just relaying what you told me," she'd say. "Maybe we should skip this weekend if you're not up for it." I'm left standing there, trying to convince my own son I want him around. I confronted her over the phone, demanding to know what she's been telling him. She played innocent, saying, "I just repeat what you tell me. If Tyler's confused, maybe you need to be clearer about your schedule." She hung up when I started listing every time I'd shown up only to be turned away with her lies. I'm losing my son, and I don't know how to stop it. Every time I try to bring up the fun we used to have, he gets this blank stare, like he's not allowed to remember those moments. I love him more than anything, but she's poisoning him against me. How do I convince an 8-year-old his mom is lying when she's the one he trusts most? How do I fight someone who has him most of the time and uses it to convince him I don't care? Update 1. Following advice from online forums, I started documenting everything. I saved screenshots of every text where Kelly canceled visits, kept call logs of my attempts to contact her, and took photos of myself waiting outside her house when she wouldn't open the door. I installed a security camera at my place to record the rare pickups and drop-offs. I also contacted Tyler's school counselor and pediatrician, asking them to note anything Tyler said about our visits or alleged illnesses on days Kelly claimed he couldn't come. Then I found something horrifying that made it all click. Tyler left his tablet at my house after one of his rare visits. We'd given him a phone and tablet to ease the transitions between homes, and he's usually meticulous about taking them back to his mom's. This time, he forgot it under the couch cushions. When I plugged it in to charge, messages from Kelly popped up. They were outright coaching him. "Remember, Daddy doesn't really want you there. That's why I had to get you early last time. If Daddy cared, he wouldn't keep making excuses to skip visits. Daddy's got a new girlfriend now, so he doesn't need us anymore." There were dozens of these, stretching back months, some sent right before my pickups. Others showed her prompting him to rehearse her lies. "What will you tell Daddy if he asks why you don't want to come?" Tyler's replies matched the strange comments he'd made to me, word for word. School records revealed Tyler had been telling teachers things like, "My dad's too busy for me," or "Dad doesn't want to see me anymore." The counselor noticed Tyler seemed down when peers talked about their dads, but when she asked, he'd shrug and say, "Dad's got other things to do." The pediatrician confirmed Tyler hadn't been sick on any of the days Kelly claimed he was too ill for visits. In fact, Kelly had called the doctor multiple times requesting notes to back up her claims, but he refused because Tyler was perfectly healthy. My lawyer said we had enough for an emergency contempt motion. We filed it with all the evidence, requesting make-up time, family therapy, and penalties against Kelly for violating the custody order. I thought we had a strong case, but Kelly went ballistic. She told Tyler I was trying to take him away from her forever, that I was dragging her to court because I hated their family. Tyler started having full-blown panic attacks at the mere mention of visiting me, hyperventilating, sobbing uncontrollably. He began wetting the bed again, something he hadn't done since he was 5. One night he called me, crying so hard I could barely understand him. "Daddy, please don't take me away from Mommy. I'll be good, I promise I'll come to your house. Just don't make the judge take me away." I had to reassure an 8-year-old that I wasn't trying to steal him from his mom, just see him as the court had agreed. He didn't believe me. The court ordered supervised visits while they reviewed the contempt claims. It was humiliating, sitting in a sterile room at a family services office with a stranger scribbling notes about every moment with my son. Tyler barely spoke during those visits, sitting across from me like I was a criminal. He kept asking the supervisor when he could go back to his mom. We built some Legos once, but he kept glancing at the supervisor like he was breaking a rule. He asked if playing with toys meant he was betraying his mom. I told him enjoying time with his dad wasn't betraying anyone, but the damage was done. The supervisor's reports noted Tyler's severe anxiety and reluctance to bond with me, but they made it sound like I was the issue, like he was naturally scared of me. Kelly played the victim flawlessly in court, showing up looking drained and worried, claiming I was traumatizing Tyler with this legal fight and that he just wanted family peace. Her lawyer portrayed me as a vindictive ex-husband using the courts to torment her. Even my own family started doubting me. After a family dinner, my mom pulled me aside and suggested I might be pushing too hard, that Tyler seemed stressed when she saw him at Kelly's parents' place. They were friends before I met Kelly. My dad agreed, saying forcing the issue might make things worse. But one moment during a supervised visit kept me going. For about 20 minutes, Tyler let his guard down, and we started building a Lego castle. He got excited about the drawbridge, spinning a whole story about the knights inside. For those 20 minutes, he was my son again. Then he seemed to remember the supervisor watching, pushed the castle away, and whispered, "I miss building with you, Daddy," before clamming up and asking if the visit was over. Kelly upped her interference. She claimed Tyler was in therapy for trauma from the custody dispute, but refused to share the therapist's name or contact info, saying it was private and I had no right to know. My lawyer called that nonsense. I had every right to know about my son's medical care. Kelly also started threatening to move out of state for Tyler's mental health, claiming our town's toxic environment was worsening his anxiety. Her sister in Colorado offered them a place to stay. My lawyer warned that parental alienation cases like this can drag on for years, as the alienating parent often appears reasonable in court while destroying the relationship behind closed doors. The court system is slow, and kids' loyalties can shift completely in that time. Meanwhile, I was draining my savings on legal fees and supervised visit costs. My relationship with my girlfriend began crumbling under the strain. She tried to be supportive, but admitted she didn't understand why I couldn't be stricter with Tyler or why I let Kelly manipulate me. I don't know if I can endure years of this. My son believes I abandoned him, that I don't love him, that I'm trying to hurt his mom. And I'm powerless to change his mind when the person he trusts most is feeding him lies daily. Update 2. After months of legal battles, the court appointed a child psychologist to evaluate our family situation. Kelly fought it, claiming Tyler was too fragile for an assessment and it would re-traumatize him. The psychologist worked with Tyler for 8 weeks, uncovering shocking details. In their third session, Tyler admitted, he says, "Daddy doesn't want me because he's been told to, but he's now confused about what's true. He's been bombarded with conflicting messages for so long he doubts his own memories and feelings." Using play therapy, the psychologist got past Tyler's walls. Tyler drew pictures of our family, played with dollhouses, and told stories about toy figures. In one drawing, he showed himself in the middle with me and Kelly pulling his arms. When asked how the boy felt, Tyler said, "Scared like he's going to break." Another picture showed him outside two houses, one dark and scary, one bright and happy. He pointed to the bright one and whispered, "That's Daddy's house, but I'm not supposed to like it. If I do, Mommy will be alone forever and it'll be my fault." The psychologist's preliminary report identified Kelly's manipulation tactics. Emotional blackmail, telling Tyler that enjoying time with me would make her sad and alone. Creating loyalty conflicts. You can only love one parent. And gaslighting him about his happy memories with me. Worst of all, Kelly played the victim, telling Tyler I was trying to destroy their family and take him away from her, making him feel responsible for her emotions. This has traumatized Tyler, causing loyalty conflict anxiety. He believes rejecting me protects his mom, and he's terrified that loving both parents will hurt one of us. He has nightmares about us fighting over him like a toy, waking up crying from dreams where he must choose which parent lives. He told the psychologist he wishes he could vanish so we'd stop fighting. Tyler shows signs of generalized anxiety disorder, nail-biting, sleep issues, stomachaches before custody discussions. The once confident kid now second-guesses everything, seeking constant adult approval and fearing he'll upset someone. When Kelly learned I was documenting her actions, she switched to subtler manipulation. She enrolled Tyler in baseball, guitar lessons, and art classes, all during my custody time. When I objected, she said Tyler wanted these activities and asked if I didn't support his interests. Tyler told the psychologist he never requested them. Kelly had said, "Daddy won't mind if you miss visits for important stuff. He'll be proud you're learning skills instead of playing with toys." The court found clear evidence of parental alienation based on the psychologist's report. They ordered reunification therapy with a specialist in alienated families, plus co-parenting classes and individual therapy for Kelly to address her boundary issues and failure to support my relationship with Tyler. But Kelly complies with court orders in name only. She attends co-parenting classes but sits in the back, visibly dismissive, and tells other parents she's only there because I'm vindictive. Her therapist bought her victim story, sending texts like, "You're doing great shielding Tyler from a toxic situation, and trust your instincts about what's best for your son." This therapist specializes in supporting mothers in custody disputes and has a reputation for always backing moms. Tyler still cries before visits, but it's a sadder, more resigned crying, like he's mourning something he can't articulate. Reunification therapy is helping slowly, but Tyler's resistance is deep after months of brainwashing. The depression hit me hard around month 6. Waking up knowing my son thinks I don't love him was crushing me. I started therapy with a specialist in parental alienation who warned that these cases often take 1-3 years, and many fathers give up. My relationship with my girlfriend finally broke under the strain. She'd been patient, but said she couldn't handle my fixation on Tyler and Kelly, feeling like she was dating someone still tied to his ex. We split 2 weeks ago. I can't blame her. I've been a wreck. Financially, I'm in trouble. Legal fees, therapy, and supervised visits drained my savings, forcing me to borrow against my 401k. But Tyler's school counselor reached out after noticing he seemed withdrawn. Tyler mentioned missing me but looked guilty for saying it. She started documenting these moments for the court. During a supervised visit 3 weeks ago, Tyler had a breakthrough. While building a Lego spaceship, he asked, "Daddy, did you really not want me all those times Mommy said you canceled?" I explained how I'd shown up for every pickup, how Kelly turned me away, even times when he was there but rushed inside. "But why would Mommy lie?" he asked. I said sometimes adults make mistakes when they're hurt, and his mom was scared of losing him but handled it wrong. Tyler seemed to get it but looked scared, like understanding meant betraying her. Kelly found out about our talk and spent the next week crying in front of Tyler, saying I'd lied about her and broken their family. In therapy, Tyler admitted he enjoys Legos with me but feels guilty for it. The therapist is helping him separate his true feelings from what he's been told to feel. Visits are more regular now, but Tyler stays guarded, like he's afraid to get close again in case I abandon him like Kelly said. Update 3, 9 months since my last update, and it's been a wild ride. Tyler's been in reunification therapy, making slow progress. He's starting to admit he pretended not to enjoy our time because Kelly gets upset when he shows excitement about me. The therapist uses a method where Tyler rates his real feelings versus what he feels he's allowed to feel. He's realizing there's a huge gap between what he enjoys and what he thinks he should. Last month, he said, "I think I was wrong about some things Mommy told me. I remember having fun with you, but she said those times weren't real." He's been gaslit so badly he doubts his own experiences. The child psychologist's 127-page report, submitted in January, confirmed parental alienation syndrome. After interviewing Tyler, me, Kelly, teachers, and the pediatrician, she documented Kelly's deliberate efforts to sabotage our bond. Coaching Tyler with false stories, emotional blackmail, loyalty conflicts, blocking visits, and making baseless claims. She recommended I get primary custody with therapy to rebuild our relationship. Kelly lost it when she heard. She made wild accusations, first claiming I'd been inappropriate with Tyler during past unsupervised visits. CPS investigated, interviewed Tyler, did medical exams, and found nothing. Case closed. Undeterred, Kelly filed another report, alleging I neglected Tyler, didn't feed him properly, and left him in unsafe conditions. That was dismissed too, with the CPS worker noting the claims seemed retaliatory. Those investigations were hell, halting my visits for 6 weeks. Tyler was questioned repeatedly, growing scared and confused. During one CPS interview, he broke down, sobbing, "I love Daddy, but I'm scared Mommy will leave me if I say that. She said if I like Daddy's house, she might go away forever." An emergency custody hearing on February 15th changed everything. The judge, armed with the psychologist's report and CPS findings, rejected Kelly's lawyer's claims that I'd manipulated the process. I was granted temporary primary custody, with Kelly limited to supervised visits twice weekly until she completes extensive therapy and an alienation education program. She screamed at me in the courthouse, accusing me of stealing her son. Having Tyler full-time is intense. He tested every boundary at first, asking constantly, "Are you going to get sick of me and send me back to Mommy?" He's been conditioned to expect rejection. Some days he wants to call Kelly nonstop. Others, he's scared to mention her, thinking it'll upset me. We're rediscovering what he loves versus what Kelly told him to like. He's back to building intricate Lego cities, his creativity creeping back. Kelly's reaction to losing custody has been unhinged. She calls Tyler's phone relentlessly during my time, claiming she's checking on him. She showed up at his school uninvited, prompting a restraining order. She sends guilt-tripping texts. "Mommy cries every night missing you. I don't know why Daddy won't let you come home." We blocked her number, routing communication through a court-monitored app. Last week, Kelly violated the custody order by picking Tyler up from his after-school program, claiming an emergency. I had to call the police to get him back. She'd spent 3 hours telling him I'd tricked the judge and might make her go away forever. Tyler came home distraught, begging me not to send her to jail. During supervised visits, Kelly keeps manipulating him, saying things like, "I hope Daddy's treating you well," implying I'm not, or asking, "Do you miss living with Mommy?" in front of the supervisor. Kelly appealed the custody decision in March, claiming the psychologist's report was biased and parental alienation is junk science. Her lawyer argues Tyler's resistance to me was genuine, not manipulated, and that I was an absent father during our marriage who now wants custody out of spite. That's nonsense. I was hands-on with Tyler from birth, and our custody deal was mutual at first. The appeal could take months, but my lawyer is confident given the overwhelming evidence of Kelly's behavior and Tyler's progress with me. His anxiety has lessened, he's sleeping better, and the bedwetting stopped. Last night, he fell asleep on my shoulder during a movie, the first time he's fully relaxed with me in over a year. These moments of connection keep me going through Kelly's ongoing interference and the legal fight. The appeal hearing is set for June. No matter what, Tyler now knows I never stopped fighting for him, loving him, or wanting him around. That's something Kelly can't take away.